welcome everyone. Let's dive into the fascinating interplay between AI and human intelligence, where machines mimic some aspects of our thinking, while our minds are so much more diverse and intuitive.
Absolutely. It's really interesting how AI is designed to capture things like reasoning and problem solving, yet it can't quite grasp the rich emotional and creative aspects of human thinking.
Right, exactly. AI works on algorithms and massive data sets. Its strength is in processing speed and efficiency. But when you look at human intelligence, it's like it draws from experiences, emotions, and social connections that no algorithm
hmm
can really replicate.
Yeah, and think about it. Humans learn from unstructured experiences. We pick up lessons from everyday interactions, our gut feelings, our creativity. Meanwhile, AI learns from, well, structured input only, supervised and unsupervised learning, plus reinforcement learning to refine its models.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us to how learning differs so dramatically. Human learning is flexible and adaptive. We adjust based on context and emotion, something AI just isn't wired for.
Right. While AI might be great at solving tasks it's been trained on, it struggles with new, ambiguous situations. You know, it often needs a lot of examples to get anywhere near the kind of intuition we humans naturally have.
Exactly, and that intuitive edge is key. Humans can improvise in ways that AI cannot. For instance, when faced with a moral or ethical dilemma, we pull from our values, empathy, and past experiences, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. And it reminds me of how, even in decision making, our brains use not only logic, but emotional cues too. AI's reasoning, on the other hand, though logical, lacks that reflective introspection or consciousness.
Absolutely. It's like comparing a super speed computer to a thoughtful philosopher. AI can crunch numbers, analyze huge data sets. It's built for that. But it doesn't really get the world the way we do because it doesn't feel.
hmm And speaking of crunching data, we have to admire how AI processes vast amounts of information so quickly. That's a level of efficiency that we humans can't compete with in, say, repetitive or data-intensive tasks.
Indeed, and that efficiency is why AI powers things like language translation and image recognition so effectively. But then again, when it comes to tasks requiring judgment, creativity, and empathy, it's our human flexibility that really shines.
I agree. But, I sometimes wonder if we might overstate the gap. Some argue that as AI develops, it could start to address even creativity or ethical reasoning. What do you think?
Well, that's an interesting debate. I'd say while AI can generate content that appears creative and follows ethical guidelines programmed into it, it lacks what you call true creativity. Its output is based on patterns learned from data, not intrinsic
Yeah,
inspiration or emotion.
right? It's like making a copy instead of an original masterpiece. The human mind can generate something truly novel based on emotions, intuition, and our diverse experiences.
Exactly, and that also ties into how we process and recall memory. Humans have this associative memory that's influenced by context and feelings, while AI's memory is, well, very precise but totally static.
hmm And that static nature means AI recalls facts with perfect accuracy, but without the warmth or depth of human recall. We remember events wrapped up in personal stories and emotions.
Right on. And then there's the whole matter of ethical and moral reasoning. Humans work from a deeply ingrained sense of social responsibility and ethical values, but AI, even when programmed with guidelines, just doesn't understand the moral weight behind decisions.
Absolutely, our ethical judgments are nuanced because they're informed by years of cultural, personal, and relational experiences. AI, for all its brilliance, is still, at the end of the day, following lines of code.
Yeah. And, when we get into social interactions and the ability to read emotions, that's where human intelligence really leaps ahead. We intuitively pick up on social cues, empathize with others, and adjust our behavior in real time.
Right, yep, for sure. Although AI can simulate conversation and even mimic empathy to an extent by following certain algorithms, it's still very, surface level.
hmm Like it's playing a role rather than actually experiencing the feelings it's depicting. And that brings us neatly to the concept of consciousness and self awareness. Humans reflect on their actions, learn from mistakes in a deep way, and explore creativity through self reflection.
Yeah, indeed. And without that self-awareness, AI remains an advanced tool rather than a being with introspection or true understanding. It processes data without understanding the why behind its actions.
Exactly. It's like having all the answers, but not the insight to truly grasp the meaning behind them. And the interplay of speed versus depth is fascinating too. AI processes information at lightning speeds, while humans, though slower, are much more adept at contextual judgment.
hmm You know, it kind of reminds me of a relay race. AI sprints like a champion when it comes to raw data processing, but we humans run with a lot of strategic planning, nuance, and an ability to adapt when the terrain changes unexpectedly.
That's a brilliant analogy, and it definitely captures the essence of our discussion. Yet, I do think there's a subtle pitfall here. Some might argue that we're underestimating AI's potential to someday emulate these human like traits. But respectfully, I think even with future advancements, the very subjective, lived experiences of humans remain
Right.
out of reach for synthetic systems.
I see your point, but I'm a bit more skeptical about drawing a hard line. While true consciousness might be elusive, evolving AI might still blur the lines further in specific environments. It's a respectful challenge to the idea that human creativity and emotion can never be matched.
I understand where you're coming from. It's like we're watching two different types of orchestras play. One is a digital symphony focused on precision, and the other is a living ensemble full of improvisation and soul. But I would argue that even if the symphonies start to sound similar, the underlying essence, the inner feelings, will always set them apart.
hmm That's a thoughtful perspective. And coming back to our starting point, it's clear that AI and human intelligence, for all their differences, can actually complement each other remarkably well. The fusion of rapid data handling and deep human insight could drive incredible innovations.
Exactly. Picture it like this. AI excels in crunching big data and executing precise, repetitive tasks, while humans steer vision, ethics, empathy, and adaptability. Working together, they can really, really push the boundaries
Absolutely.
of what's possible.
And as we look to the future, it seems collaboration is the key. Rather than one replacing the other, the strengths of both can be merged. But that also means we have to be careful with ethical frameworks, ensuring that advanced AI remains aligned with our values.
Right. Ethical considerations are paramount. AI should be developed in a way that enhances human creativity, preserves our values, and doesn't spiral into unpredictability. In many ways, it's like having a conversation between logic and emotion, where each side respects the boundaries of the other.
Exactly. And that balance will shape the future of technology. It's exciting and a bit daunting to think about how far we might push these developments, isn't it?
It sure is. I mean, we're right at the intersection of extraordinary technological capability and the rich tapestry of human experience. It's like standing on a bridge where both sides can learn from each other, AI offering precision and consistency, and us offering context, creativity, and, well, heart.
hmm And that future collaboration could be the recipe for transformative breakthroughs across every field, from healthcare to education, even creative arts. It's a teaming up that could redefine what we think is possible.
Precisely. It's interesting. While AI is excellent at analyzing patterns in data, it lacks the ability to feel or understand irony or humor on a deep level. That's an area where being human is irreplaceable.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes that very humor or the ability to laugh at ourselves is what drives us to innovate further. It's the unexpected twist in our conversations that sparks new ideas.
Absolutely. Even our casual banter, filled with stutters and quirky interjections, highlights the beauty of human communication. It flows organically and is rich with nuance, something no algorithm can perfectly mimic yet.
Right, indeed. While AI might perfect the art of precise language, it is our emotional variability and spontaneity that lends true character to our interactions.
Exactly. And as we wrap up, we see that both forms of intelligence have distinct realms where they shine. Understanding those differences helps us leverage each strength, making for a future of enriched collaboration, one where AI amplifies our capabilities, not replaces
Absolutely.
them.
And that harmonious blend, though it might evolve, will always be rooted in human experience, ethics, and creativity. It's a dynamic dance between technology and our innate humanity.
Well said, whether it's in processing speed or empathetic reasoning, it's all about recognizing these unique qualities and, blending them effectively. That balance is what will drive innovation in the years to come.
Right on. Truly, it's a journey of discovering how best to merge our impressive human capabilities with the power of advanced algorithms. And as we continue along that path, respectful dialogue and thoughtful ethical considerations should guide our steps.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for this engaging exchange. It's conversations like these that remind us why trying to blend technology with our human spirit is both challenging and, frankly, absolutely exciting.
Yep, indeed, it's been a great chat. Looking forward to when technology and human intuition continue to evolve together in such a balanced dialogue.
All right, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into AI versus human intelligence. Stay curious, keep questioning, and remember, the best results come when different forms of intelligence work hand in hand.